That's true. Guys, the moment I learn how to do this, it's wrapped.
One love,
Wait, actually, yeah. See? More pink in the apartment. This is the girls. Hello everyone. I hope that this lighting situation is okay, as I know that you're all dealing with daylight savings and the fact that it's getting dark so early. It's only like 5 o'clock right now, and I really had to MacGyver this lighting situation, so I hope it's okay. For the duration of this video, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to jump in and chat and reflect on, the time capsule that is this video, I guess. I have a lot of fun vlogging. It's just something that I really enjoy. I don't know, it's just really fun to capture the highlights throughout my days and weeks, but I have a lot of fun editing and picking music and that whole creative process that I guess making these videos entails. I can't lie though, I have a hard time like doing things like this and speaking like one-on-one to the camera. So I kind of wanted to use this as an opportunity to kind of practice and get a little bit stronger with that as well. So what's been going on? I cannot believe that we're halfway through December. For obvious reasons, that means that the end of the year is near. But for me personally, my birthday is right around the corner. My birthday's next week. And this is the first time that I feel like, I don't know, I'm really feeling the age that I'm entering, if that makes sense. What I do really just enjoy with getting older is just getting not only wiser, but I think a lot more confident and feeling more and more assured in who I am as a person as I get older and older and older, which I think is really cool. It feels a little funny to say that as someone who's like only in their 20s, because if I'm lucky, I'll have a lot of life to live. And if I feel this way now, I can't wait to feel how I feel when I'm like 40. This week, I can't lie, I have felt a really big creative spark this week, which has been really fun, obviously. I don't know, I've just felt really like, I don't know, like not inspired, but I've just been wanting to like make stuff. I think a huge part of that I owe a lot to doing the artist way. It's been something I've been talking a lot about in some of my videos, but yeah, it's just been like a very big part of my life and my daily practice. A huge result of doing the artist way is just, I think, helping me reframe my creativity a little bit. I don't think I've necessarily have felt more inspired throughout the process so far, but I think that the barrier that I put between myself and making something has, I don't know, just become a lot easier to get through recently. So I think the artist way has just really helped me reframe what it means to make stuff. I have always been like a very creative person. I was that kid who always loved like drawing and painting and just making stuff. I think through the artist way, what I've really been focusing on is making things through that lens. What I mean by that is like, I don't know, I think we don't give ourselves enough credit at all. I really do believe like we're all creative. If you think of all of us as kids, we all did those like fun little projects in elementary school and things like that. We all drew, we all made pieces of art, you know? And I think what's really beautiful of how we approach that at that age is we approach it with such like a confidence, you know, like no one can tell me that this is bad. I'm just so excited to show you this thing because I just like it. You know, there's really no deeper meaning or like thought process behind it. You're just making for the sake of like making something. And that within itself is something you're just like proud of, you know? Think about all the times that you've wanted to give like a drawing or a collage to a teacher or a parent or a friend or whoever in your life was important. I think that for me, that's kind of a mindset around making stuff that I want to kind of get closer and closer to again. I am a graphic designer. Professionally, I guess. I went to school for graphic design. I worked in a couple of advertising agencies after school, and right now I'm unemployed. But I think that, yeah, the artist way has helped me reframe my creativity to just have more fun and more play. And I think that's the part of like the childhood or childlike aspects of it that I'm kind of trying to re-implement into my creativity and making stuff. Because I think as we all grow up and we all become adults, whether you continue to pursue creative passions, you know, professionally or as a hobby or whatever, I think that along the way, like it just gets a little muddied. As we get older, you know, we have people in our life who start shaping our opinions on art and creativity and making things. People tell us things like, that's cute, but what can you do with that other than a hobby? Or some people start to judge us for the things that we make. Some people who used to love the little drawings they received that we made when we were kids suddenly don't like it anymore and don't receive it with such openness. I think for me, in my experience, as I got older and pursued a creative like degree and a creative job, I think it just gets even a little bit more muddy and murky, and that kind of motivation and reason for making things can get really complicated, and it did for me. When I was in school and studying design, I was making things and projects for an assignment. I realize now that even within those limitations, I had so much freedom to make whatever I wanted, but there's still a little bit of a barrier or like a sandbox that you have to kind of like make or create within. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because I think sometimes that just forces you to try to think outside of those bounds and think a little bit more creatively, I guess. But then when I graduated and started working, whoa, was that tough. Yeah, I think once I started like being a professional creative, it was just really difficult, because you are suddenly making things not for yourself at all. You're making something for the person who's paying you and for the person who's paying that person to pay you. And for me, it just got really murky. Yeah, how to like navigate that, how to navigate making things for myself, navigating making things in that environment. And it can be very tricky, but for me, it was really tough. It was really, really hard to navigate that and figure that out. I'm just really grateful for that experience. And I'm even more grateful for the artist way, because I think constantly thinking and reflecting about my life period, but I think about creativity specifically, has just really helped me heal that a little bit. I don't know, this sounds so like woo-woo, but I have just found that this week I have really wanted to just like make stuff, and I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what the end result is. For me, what's been more important is like the process of just doing the thing. I feel like there were a few times in school or work where that was emphasized. I think a lot of the times in those environments, it was like, what's the end product? What are you presenting? What are you sharing? What are you selling? And yeah, so it's been really fun to just like make things for the sake of making things. And for me, what that has looked like specifically is watercoloring. You can kind of see my brushes right there. I have never really been someone who's claimed being like a painter or like a fine artist at all. I think I can throw down a little bit, you know, hand me a pencil, hand me a paintbrush. I think I can do my 1-2, but I just really don't think that's where I feel the most like comfortable or thrive in terms of like my creativity. Yeah, it's just been really fun to like pick it up and just like watercolor. And even if it's like ugly, or even if I'm like halfway through and I'm like, nah, I don't like this, I just move on, you know? I would love to show you like some of my watercolors, but a lot of the pieces that I've painted, I'm actually turning into gifts for friends and family for the holidays. So stay tuned on that. Along with watercoloring and YouTube being and like editing and making videos and stuff. A couple of other ways that I have just been creative and making stuff for fun is with my film camera. I go through phases with my camera, I'm not gonna lie. There's weeks and months where I'm like just burning through rolls of film. I'm shooting everything, but I don't know, lately I haven't been like on it that much. I'm not gonna lie. It has something that I found myself carrying less and less with me as I'm out and about. I just missed it. So when I was home for Thanksgiving, I finally finished a roll of film. And so you guys saw those photos earlier in the video. This is my camera. Actually, is my mom's old camera that she found when my parents were cleaning out their storage unit. I literally just throw this thing in my bag or in my tote and just kind of shoot throughout my day. What I love about this camera specifically is it's literally just a point and shoot, and you can't focus, you can't do anything. There's a flash, but there's not a lot of modifications, I guess, or things you can tinker with for the photos you're taking. I don't know, with this, I really like that because it's very fun. I love getting a WeTransfer link of film that I developed and getting really giddy and excited to finally see what I captured. Another way that I have been just fucking around is with a portable scanner. I'm gonna try to clip this to me really quick. 1 second. Is this gonna stay? I'm just gonna put the mic right here for a second to unravel my portable scanner. This is my portable scanner, the eye scanner. I saw this specific scanner floating around on my Instagram reels. There's this one guy who just shared like the textures that he captured with this portable scanner in New York. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I remember seeing that video and sharing it with Jen and Gabby. For my birthday, Jen, Gabby, and Kale got me this portable scanner. So shout out them because it was an awesome early birthday present. And when we were out and about throughout the weekend, I brought it with me and just scanned New York. So the back of this thing is disgusting because I scanned signs on the subway and random graffiti on buildings. So I definitely need to clean it. Again, it's like similar to my film camera where I have no idea what I'm capturing. I'm just scanning and some of it looks really cool. Some of it looks really wonky. Some of the colors look blown out or just unexpected of what I got. But I think that's just what's really like fun about it is having no idea what you're getting and what you're capturing. Because I think it just lets go of this idea of capturing like the perfect picture or like the perfect scan because you literally can't see it. You just have to get it and hope for the best. I think what is really hard as people and as creative people is we could be really hard on ourselves. And I think we hold on to this idea of suffering for the sake of like making things, kind of the idea that things can only be good if we had a really hard time or honestly didn't enjoy making it. I don't know. I definitely think that I'm starting to let go of that idea. I think actually we can have a lot more fun with making stuff. And I think sometimes that actually leads to a better result because we're not just like beating ourselves up. I journaled a little bit about this morning that we tend to really second guess our ideas or the things that we're making and executing. It just doesn't become fun. It sucks. When I was writing, I was kind of thinking, well, of course, like I wouldn't make things then because the process of doing it isn't enjoyable. Throughout, I'm telling myself that this isn't good. I'm not good. I can do better. But I think just what I've been trying to do as of late is kind of rework that kind of thought process and telling myself, no, this is cool. This is fun. This is good. I am good. I am talented. And I think that is just an example of how we can be a lot kinder to ourselves. Thank you guys so much for checking this video out, for taking a peek into my little time capsule, and for hearing me out through this little ramble about creativity. I really don't know what sparked this, but I just kind of plopped the camera down and said, I'm going to start talking. Usually when I do things like this, where it's a little bit more one-on-one. I like to brain dump and write things out, but I just, again, wanted to just turn the camera on and just see what happens. And I think that this was a pretty good little tangent we went on together. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you are doing well and you're being kind to yourself. I hope that you just make something for the sake of making it. Whatever it looks like in the end, just know that it was good because you did it. With that, I will leave you and I will see you guys next week.